Josh, why are you upset?
Hey, Jess. We had people vote on the t-shirt design for our event series, the Ghost Tour, and they voted wrong.
Oh, well, I guess that's always the risk that you run when you crowdsource.
They voted wrong.
Hey, Josh, remember when you wanted to do like a big ass conference for a whole bunch of people?
Yeah, if you don't have your own user conference, are you even a real startup?
I mean, at this point, it feels a little ambitious for us.
That's the problem with you, Jess. Like, that's the problem that we need to talk about. No, you need to have your own named event, Jess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we do kind of now.
We do.
We're going to talk about the story of how we got there.
Yeah. Should I start with why I wanted one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
As always.
I feel like every crazy CEO sees these like really cool owned events like Chili Peppers, ChiliPalooza, Drift Head, Hypergrowth. I think Demand and Expand is actually part of
Inflection.io.
Yeah. And it's just not fair that we don't have one.
And I want one.
I want one. And the fact that you don't give me one. Yeah. I want a pony for my birthday.
This is that moment for sure.
Yeah, I wanted one. More realistically, it felt like we market to marketers. We're known for crazy stuff. And it's like that feels like the mecca of marketing as an owned event series.
Absolutely. You're not wrong. Yeah. I think you came to me and you're like, I think we need to do like a pretty big event, like a bunch of marketers and like get them in a room or like do cool stuff, like make them really like make it an experience. Right. And we were like, well, yeah, we could do that. But like, what we tested last year was like small private dinner that worked. Yeah. And so we were like, can we find something in between?
Was it before or after I told you that we wanted to have a Toyota Corolla where people could go in and scream that you decided this wasn't a good idea?
Okay, for the record, I still think that is a good idea. The idea, just for listeners, is, marketers are under a lot of pressure. Sometimes you just need to sit in your car and scream. And so we just wanted to have like a room with a Toyota Corolla. I don't know why we got so specific with the Corolla. That just felt right.
It's the right kind of car.
Yeah, it is. Just like mid-model, whatever.
Yeah.
And you get your turn. When it's your turn, you shut the door in that car and you just scream. You just let it out.
And we tell people it's soundproof, but it's not.
It's not.
We
hear
everything.
You. And then we vote on who has the best. This part was right.
Whose boss we hate the most.
Right. So I think we still need to do that.
Yeah. I just feel like a series for marketers where it's just like a rage room. You get to break shit. You get to yell. Like maybe I can like sit there and it's like a yell at a CEO sort of moment.
Ooh.
Just one-on-ones. You just get to yell at me. Just call me awful names.
That's great. Yeah.
I cry at the end.
I love it. People will love that. There would be a line out the door.
You do this really good thing when I bring crazy ideas to you. You have this like look on your face, like, you take it for a second.
Always.
But I can tell immediately that you're gonna say no. This is one of those.
It's not that I say no. It's like let's find our version of that. What is our version of that?
Yeah.
It would be amazing to be able to do our own ChiliPalooza. I just don't think we're there yet. I think we have some steps in between we need to accomplish. And so where we landed was, okay, we want to do this big thing, but we know this like small, private, intimate thing works for us.
Yeah.
Let's do small but repeatable. Like let's do a couple of those, a handful of those. Let's string them together. Let's call it a series.
Yep.
And ipso facto, Bob's your uncle. You got a great event series.
Bob's your uncle. I like it. Well, we had been like toying with this concept of events and community for a while.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other half of this.
Yeah. Right.
Josh wanted a community.
I wanted a community. I still fucking want a community. Yeah. We had gotten this sort of pull, right, from our customers of like, where can we talk to other users, all this sort of stuff. Like obviously every marketer wants like to own their platform, own their community, et cetera.
Yes.
And so I had, before the event, I'd been bothering you about a community, right? Let's start a Slack community, like blah, blah, blah. And sort of the feedback you had given me and like other members of your team that had done communities before is like, this is harder than you think. This is like a full-time job.
Communities go sideways real fast.
So I was like, fuck it. We don't need to do a community. We just need to do like a 5,000 person event. Like it's easier. One time, one day of the year.
Right. Yeah. You'll be fine. It's like it's like a huge wedding.
It's like a party.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If people can plan weddings.
Book a
while
Corolla,
working.
you're done.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So we had kind of this like Josh wanted a big event. Josh wanted a community.
Yeah.
Both of which just didn't feel like we were quite there yet.
Yeah.
Established that we didn't quite have the right team, right? Like community can be, probably should be a full-time role.
Yeah.
Right. If not a couple of different people, like understanding the content in that community and moderating the community, making sure it doesn't just become a giant pitch fest, because that is when that happens, like you can't salvage it and no one wants to be in it. And now you have kind of this like failed thing that was very public on your hands, right?
Yeah, which most of the communities kind of end up going that direction.
Yes, they absolutely can.
So I had asked you like, hey, let's do an event, let's do a community. Your response was like, we can only do so many things. Why event over community? Yeah,
a couple things. If we can't do it like really well, it's not worth doing.
Yeah.
And community, again, like that could be a whole team, whole person at the very least. It just didn't feel quite the right stage. Yeah. Community is also way better for retention than growth typically, right? And I think the way that our team is set up, the way that our goals are set up right now, where we are as a company and our journey, growth is the real goal.
Yeah.
And so events typically lend better to that, right? Driving pipeline, having conversations with, your target accounts, the people that you need to eventually become a customer.
Yeah. It's like hiring like a customer marketing team. Like eventually we'll do it, but it's certainly not the priority in the early days.
Correct. And community is very much in that vein for sure.
Totally.
So this felt like, when we really looked at the strategy, the event route seemed like the much smarter route, and a smaller, kind of more contained, repeatable, scalable version of that felt like the smarter route as well. So we kind of took all that knowledge and we were like, okay, let's do something that we know works, small, private, and let's repeat it a few times. Yeah. Let's do a series of dinners, but how do we make this vector, right? I think a lot of people know, like, we're not just going to do like a just straight up dinner. And do you remember how we came up with the Ghost Tour?
I think we were in a one-on-one.
Yeah. I remember you were like, Jess, I just like 3 words, Ghost Tour. And I was like, say less.
Say less is sold.
I see it. Like it's already booked.
Yeah. Get terabytes of data left in my head and entered yours with 3 words.
Yeah. It was
Ghost Tour.
Yes.
Tour.
What is that? Telepathy, basically. Yeah. I knew instantly what that meant. Like I have this theory that like, the name of something alone is like half of the work. Yeah. And the second you said Ghost Tour, I was like, it's packaged already. Like I can see it. Yeah. And we just went with it. I think that's something that I love about Vector and like our team is like, you can have just a name and you're like, okay, no, go make that happen.
Let's
like,
be unhinged. Let's just go
let's do
make it work. Yeah.
So we did. We started to figure out like, what does that look like? And at first it was like, okay, we have kind of 2 options. One, if you do an event series, it can be kind of your own thing. You can round up a bunch of folks. You can go to some different cities. You can really see like who in your database or in your target, in your, target account list live there or work there, and can you get them to come, right? That's one option. Another one was, what events are you already going to be at, and do kind of a sidecar or like a little kind of attached event at the event, right? That's what what I learned, at least at my first inbound last year, now unbound, was like, that's where it's at. The events around the event are like the cool place to be.
And that's one of the things, I think in season 1, we talked about like your first budget. Yeah. And like one of the rules we kind of put together was like, there are no no's. There are only like starts, stops, and tries. Yeah. Or experiments. And we had learned in season 2, gosh, this shows like cataloging
I know.
The maturity of our company. But we learned in season 2, we had like a singular, really great experience at Exit 5 with Drive, where we basically like sidecarted an event, a dinner there. It went like awful, which made it go like terrible or amazingly all at the same time because we had to like shuffle last minute. And like this was just really successful for us. And so I think it was interesting to watch the idea of the event sort of morph, and you almost like control my expectations of me being like, I want our own named event. And you're like, well, we'll do like a series of like small things. Yes. And I think at first it was like, we'll travel to a bunch of cities. Yep. And then eventually we landed on like, let's just sidecar everything we're going to.
It was funny because 2 plans kind of converged, where it was like, I was looking at what events are we going to sponsor this year. And at the same time, this idea was percolating of the Ghost Tour of like, we have this event series we want to do. We're trying to figure out how we're going to do that and these. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, let's just do them together. We already know the people that we want to talk to are going to be at these events. Let's just like tack it on. And logistically, it just made more sense for like the size of our team and our budgets. And it makes it a lot easier to actually get the right people there.
They're already going to be there.
They're already going to be there. And they're looking for something cool to do when the conference is done. And what better to do at a marketing conference than go see haunted places and cemeteries.
For people that don't have, as they say in Mean Girls, ESPN, the way you and I had, where I told you the name and you immediately knew what it was. What is the Ghost Tour?
Yes. Okay. I think the thing I love about the Ghost Tour is only we can do this, right? I think just based on our brand.
Great point.
So the Ghost Tour is a private dinner followed by a walking ghost tour of haunted places and spaces.
So cool.
In the city where, we're already at this event. And it's meant for about 20 marketing leaders who are running demand gen or ABM programs. And we just want to get people like in a room talking, right? Get to know each other, get to understand we all have the same challenges as marketing leaders running similar programs. And I think the thing that's really nice about these from events that I've been at, similar ones, is like you leave them with like 3 or 4 new ideas you hadn't tried yet from people who have like tried them before, understand what works, who have the same challenges you're trying to solve. And they have a solution. You have not yet thought about.
What's funny about like the framing when you sort of brought like, I had the name, you sort of filled in the details of like what it actually means. And since then I have been to many events and you can tell the ones that are planned by CEOs versus the ones that are planned by marketers, right? Like the CEOs are these like boring, like there's an agenda printed out and it's this like welcoming ceremony, right? And it's like CEO will like talk and it'll just be like, here's what our product does, right? And then it's like these like very formal things. And like all of the ones that you and I have been to recently are just so fun, are just like, you get way more pipeline out of not having a self-fulfilling agenda. Just like get good people in the room. Like they're already gonna be at these events otherwise, right? No one wants to be the loser that like doesn't have a dinner plan, right? At Inbound or whatever, right? And it's just like, okay, there's like a VIP group of people that are gonna get together. And like the only agenda is like, let's just hang out.
Absolutely.
It's so nice.
I love that you said VIP. We made a very conscious decision to have people request an invite.
Ooh, interesting.
So this was kind of a risk. I want to talk about it a little bit. So we felt like something unique like a Ghost Tour. Put on by like a brand that's kind of up and coming and cool and people are very excited about, could potentially have like wait list factor. Like people would get themselves on a list to hopefully get to be a part of it, get to participate, get to attend. And then we would have a lot more control over who ends up in that room. Because like, to be fair, this is still a pipeline driving activity for us, but we don't want it to come off as a pitch. We want it to feel like an experience. And that is kind of the self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Where like you have a great time and people want to know more about you. They want to understand your product. They want to know you as a person and then look into your technology. So we made the conscious decision to, on the landing page, we have a form that's request an invite. And I was a little nervous about that at first and it has paid off. So
well, we've seen it backfire before, right? And it's almost like one of those like when the company has a layoffs and you know as a leader that it's like the right thing to do, but it still sucks, right? Like Drive last year, they moved from like tickets come and go to like this sort of selective, we're going to like choose who comes. And it was for good reason. They wanted to make sure it didn't turn into a pitch fest of a bunch of like fractional people or whatever. But like we had good friends, like Talia's the one that comes to mind, right? That like lives in the fractional world. And she was like, what the hell, right? And like she actually did end up getting to Drive. But it was like one of those things where it's like, I get why it has to happen. And the result was like Drive was a really great event last year. And it panned out, but it wasn't always popular news.
There were a lot of people really upset about that decision. And likewise, like I think there's probably going to be people who are pretty bummed they aren't getting into, the Ghost Tour. But I think we still want to have that control over like who actually ends up in the room. We'll be back. This ain't our last time.
Next year, I'm going to ask Jess to do a 5,000 person event. So don't worry.
So everyone everyone. Everyone come.
Everyone.
Please,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, and bring your mom, because if she doesn't fill up the 5,000, we're going to have a hard conversation.
Tell her about marketing on the way, so she has some foundational knowledge.
Tell her about marketing along the way. Yeah. But no, I think it was a scary but right decision to sort of like be selective about it.
The other kind of thing we had going for us was because it was a sidecar event and we were sponsoring these events, we also get the attendee list for the event itself. Ooh. So we had kind of a push-pull going on with who we were filling the room with, right? Yeah. We had people requesting invites, and then we were also outbounding the right people that were on the attendee list for the event to be like, actually, there's this event going on after the fact. We think it'd be great for you, right? Yeah. And so we kind of filled the room half and half with both of those mechanisms.
You showed me, I think it was in our one-on-one last week, which, by the way, I think sometimes people don't think that this is like actually our dynamic for our one-on-one. It is.
It definitely is.
This is it. You had showed me, I think, a list of attendees for one of the ones that's coming up pretty soon, which we'll talk about. And it was like a who's who of marketing. I was impressed.
I like shocked myself. I was like, oh my gosh, people want to hang out with us.
I think one of the things I asked you in my one-on-one was like, is this like the best of the best across all the events? And you're like, no, this is next week's event.
This is just the San Francisco event.
Get the hell out of here, Jess.
Josh.
Yes?
Do you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time
for
positive
affirmations.
Let's do it. Let's give it to him.
Right in the eyes.
Dear marketer, your repurposed content slaps harder than most people's original ideas.
Dear marketer, your attribution model solved the debate.
All right, let's talk budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's not.
No, I feel like you're going to be really happy with this one. Okay. Even though I know I shared it before, you've just forgotten.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I went back and looked because I wanted to be able to talk about this for this episode. And between the actual like paying for the dinner, paying for the, the venue, paying for the swag and the actual ghost tour, like all the stuff that makes up the experience.
Yeah.
And we actually brought on a contractor, the very talented Steph Pennell.
She's awesome.
Steph at INGÉNUE is amazing. And so she is the person who is really taking care of all the details, the actual like finding the restaurant options, finding the ghost tour options, which did you know there are multiple ghost tour options in most of the large cities in the US?
Yeah, people die all the time.
That's
what we're trying to do is just walk people around
Everybody wants to, I know.
But that stuff sounds expensive.
It's not that bad.
Okay,
oh yeah, that's where we were going, budget. So all of that combined, we're around 45K.
Per event?
No, total. For 4 events.
Now we're talking.
4 events. So here's kind of the roadshow. We're going to Demand and Expand in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. By the time this airs, that will have happened.
Yep.
Then we have 3 back-to-back-to-back during event season.
Yep.
We have Exit 5 Drive.
Yep.
We have HubSpot Unbound.
Yep.
And we have Pavilion GTM Summit.
Wow.
All in September and October.
Holy
and so we're doing, I know, it's going to be wild, but I think we've learned so much from this first one.
Yeah.
Getting ready and getting, invitations out and people requesting invitations, building the list and all of the planning. We've done a ton of the upfront work. So those final 3 should go very smoothly.
It's actually kind of nice. We have what is that, 4 or 5 months between the first one and then the next 3 to sort of
get all our ducks in a row for those 3. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So at 45K for 4 events, I'm feeling really good about like the return we expect to see. We'll talk a little bit about goals for this event series, but I'm feeling really good about what we're going to get back out of this.
How did you, I'm trying to remember from a budget perspective, did we know we were doing the event series when we did annual planning?
We did.
That helps.
Yes. And actually, this is really interesting. So I had baked in kind of the cost of the actual event and the swag and all the experience of it. And I had put as a nice to have in my budget, someone to support us with events, a contractor like Steph.
Yep.
And Nick was actually the one, he was like, you're going to need that. Mm-hmm. And I'm so thankful he said that because she thinks of all the little details, all the things that I would never think of, just the actual sheer amount of work of like the logistics of putting all this together and making all the calls and setting things up and ordering all the swag and making sure it gets shipped to us. Like it is a lot. And I'm so thankful that I have support on that end. It would have been too much.
I feel like a takeaway for this for marketers is like, it's so easy to underestimate.
Yes.
Right? Like the difference between thinking of something of like, I can run an event versus the reality of like, you're also going to have all this other stuff going on and the details. And like, I think we've all been the marketer in that position where you're like heads down on a Friday night doing something. You're like, I bit off way more than I should have. Like,
100%.
ask for the budget early.
Yeah.
Get the support.
Yeah. It's so worth it. It's like a fraction of a head count.
Yeah.
And the payoff is like, you need it for sure.
Yep.
Let's talk about these t-shirts.
Yeah.
We wanted we wanted people to feel invested in this Ghost Tour.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Josh is really
I'm pissed.
You
guys screwed this up so bad.
From the start. First thing
I'm not even
you
excited
do.
about this event anymore. All right. But yes, you wanted to like get people, classic Jess, like something I really appreciate. You will find marketing opportunities in the work to be done. So like one of the works to be done was like, we should have like a sick t-shirt because it's a tour.
Yeah.
And you turned that into marketing.
Yes. Well, I mean, my mentor, Taylor Allison Swift, has like some of the best tour merch. And I'm like, what would Taylor do?
The Allison really threw me off. I was like, who is this woman that she's talking about? Taylor Allison
Well, I'm so
Swift.
close, I know her middle name.
Actually, just call her Tay.
Tay, yeah, we're just like T. I just call her T.
Yeah.
So anyway, she taught me that like no tour is a full tour without great merch.
Hell yeah.
And so we were like, this is a tour. Like it needs a tour t-shirt.
Yeah.
And we're going to have the cities on the back and it's going to have this like kick-ass design. And so we worked with this awesome designer who like gave us 3 amazing options.
Yeah.
We're wearing 2 of them now.
Yep.
So we had kind of like the Ghost Tour, which is like this. It's really cute, Josh.
It's cute, but keep explaining.
Okay,
And then
all
I'll
right. For
be
the
mad.
listeners who are not watching the video, it has this really cute little background of like a cemetery with definitely like a haunted house or maybe like a church behind it. And our little ghosty kind of waving and it says like Vector Ghost Tour kind of baked into the graphic. Mm-hmm. Beautiful like pink to yellow gradient that you can find on our website. It's great. Okay, the t-shirt I'm wearing was option 2. And this is like a very punk kind of rock and roll like this was our favorite for sure. We were like, look at this little mohawk. He's a ghost with a mohawk.
Yep.
And it says like Ghost Tour. And then out of a little speech bubble out of the ghost's mouth, it says tour.
Ghost Tour.
Ghost Tour.
Yeah.
It just felt like very rock and roll.
Which is what a tour is.
We had a third option that was like, it reminded me of like Guns N' Roses. It was like the three ghosts that had kind of like, crazy metal going on. And it's like Ghost Tour.
Yeah.
That was no one's favorite, apparently.
That one was just wrong.
Totally wrong.
So was this one, but whatever.
So we put it out to the people
Yeah.
to vote. We were like, we're doing this tour. We wanted to get people excited about it. We wanted to get some hype going. And we put the 3 designs out and they picked the one that Josh is wearing.
The wrong one.
Josh is still really mad about it. So I really liked this one too. So I did because, I have the power to do this.
Thank you.
I made a handful of these
of the correct
what should have won.
Yes.
The rightful winner.
Yeah.
The punk ghost.
This is why democracy is questionable.
Right. Don't give too much power to the people because they make horrible decisions.
Make people think they have an opinion, but don't actually listen to them.
I mean, honestly, like we could have been like, B's the winner. This
we could have lied.
One,
we could have lied and been like,
couldn't
we
do that
tallied
to the people
votes.
because I know somebody would have gone back and been like, fucking liars.
Oh,
somebody just counted.
Democracy won. This is the
t-shirt.
The people have spoken. This is the shirt.
Yes. I'm very excited about our swag for this tour though, because we have the t-shirt.
Yeah.
We also have this really cute like cinch bag that says pipeliner. It didn't happen.
I didn't know that.
I know. I was going to have some
Did you tell me that, or is this the first time
I just made it myself.
All right, cool.
We're going to have this little ghosty. Everyone's going to get one of him.
Yep.
We wanted to give each ghosty like an outfit that matched the city.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I told you that was going to cost?
Oh, it was like you had like a minimum order of like 10,000 per outfit or something.
We couldn't
crazy.
do. Yeah, the minimum was like way.
Yeah, it was like
way overkill. It was like 100
events.
times more than we needed.
It would have been sick though.
Swag's going to be amazing. And then I want to talk a little bit about just like the outreach that we did.
Yeah.
Actually. So this was another piece that like staff at INGÉNUE helped us with.
Okay.
That was really, really important because like to get people there, right? And to like make sure people actually come who sign up.
Yeah.
Like, all of that is outreach. So we started with the actual attendee list for the event.
Yeah.
Which had, all kinds of people on it. And as I do with any list, I hand it to the talented Sara McNamara.
Yeah.
And she brings it back to me with like all this voodoo magic where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, they run this technology and they spend this much on ads.
Her spreadsheets are wild. They come back with like, this woman has 7 kids and hasn't had a night out with her husband in 7 years. Bring her to this event. And we're like, we have to invite her.
She needs this. Yeah. The information is so specific.
So good. Like, bring Marlo. She really likes red wine.
Bring Marlo. Marlo is a very specific name. We'll talk about where you got that from later. So she comes back with this like enriched list, and then Kelly and I are able to look at it and say like, okay, who should we invite?
Yeah.
We're comparing this against our target account list, right? And prioritizing those folks, making sure they have the right title, right? We're looking for marketing leaders. So we want somebody like director and up kind of is what we're looking for.
Did you over invite? Did you do like the reason question. Like Spirit Airlines doesn't exist anymore? Did you overbook?
We overbooked.
You did? Okay, so you over invite. Yeah. You know how to take a reservation, but you don't know how to hold
the reservation. Classic Seinfeld. Yeah, this scared me a lot. Yeah. This was actually a recommendation from our event strategist, Steph.
Yep.
And she was like, you're going to want to over-invite. You're going to want like between 25 and 30 yeses.
Wow. Okay.
And that scared me because I was like, this room fits 20 people.
Yeah.
And she was right, of course.
Yeah.
So we do have, there's always 2 people that don't show up.
Yeah.
Right? Or more. And for whatever reason, it doesn't really matter. But
especially if you're doing a sidecar event where there's other things that could be going on.
They could go to a different event. Yep. They could just not feel like going out. Like they've been at the event all day and they're kind of spent, right?
Door dashing in the hotel is a vibe.
It's my favorite activity.
You get to order way more food than is socially acceptable.
Oh, and no one knows.
Yeah. You can get the cheeseburger and the hot dog from Five Guys. Not speaking from experience.
So I've heard other people do.
Obviously, this girlish figure was not built by Five Guys. I would never.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So one, that means you have to have a really cool, interesting experience people want to come to, and you do need to over-invite just because you are going to have a couple people that no-show. So we did do that, which made me really nervous, but was absolutely the right move.
And then, so you did outbound with her.
Yes.
You also, we posted about it to drive people inbound as well. You built the website?
I did build the website. Thanks for noticing.
With AI?
With AI.
That's really cool. Tell me how you went through that process.
This was before Claude Design was out. Yeah. So I did it
so she went even harder.
Yeah, I did. I vibed even harder.
I vibed harder. I hit the keyboard really hard.
Vibe.
Love. Okay.
So we needed a landing page, right? And I don't know what it is about it's like landing pages and ad creative for whatever reason is like, that is a real sticking point.
Yeah.
For I think a lot of marketers of just like, you have to get it up. It's not the easiest thing to get up.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to weigh in on the content and how it looks.
Yeah.
And I think lucky for us, we have like a very small team that has really good taste. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try using Claude to actually like spin this up.
That's cool.
And I did it in an evening. So, you know, kids went to bed and I was like, all right, I'm going to get this ready because we need to make sure that like we need some time to get the HubSpot form in here. I need to leave a space for that, right? And we need to make sure that we have it up in time before we actually start announcing this and promoting this. We had influencers who were going to be posting about it as well because we wanted to like really open up the distribution of people talking about this. So anyway, I was like, we got to get this thing ready and we got to do it quick.
Yeah.
And so, it took me like an evening and a lot of it was like, I fed it our design, our brand guidelines, which were really helpful. I fed it our tone and voice. I gave it kind of our brief about what the tour was. So I gave it a lot of context. But part of it is just like Claude's getting real good at just understanding like what a good landing page needs, all of the sections, how to keep people like informed enough, but not so much that they're like, this is too much information, analysis paralysis, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
And what I ended up with was this really lovely landing page around like, what is the event? What makes it unique? who's going to be there. Like it just hit all of the points we needed it to hit, and it felt like us.
Well, and that's the thing that was so interesting. For those of you that are trying to like visualize it, you're like, well, it's really easy to like clone a template from your Webflow website and just like add. No, this was like a fully Ghost Tour branded website.
Yeah.
Like the color palette was
we
different.
wanted it to match the tee.
Yes.
Yeah, the t-shirt.
It was like dark themed. It looked like it was like raining outside of a witch's castle or something. The vibe was
That was
vibing.
actually the brief I gave Claude. Make it look like it's raining outside of a witch's castle. The thing that was really fun was after we got like the bones of what needed to be there, we could have some fun with it. So I was like, I want these little ghosts kind of floating around. And like, I don't know, Kelly on our team is like incredible with AI. I'm still like cutting my teeth. And so for me, it was really cool to be able to see, like, I would just be like, hey, Claude, I want these. I would give it the images. I would be like, I want these 4 ghosts to float around next to the H1, fade them in and out, right? Each one kind of represented the city. There was one that looked like a ghost that had the Statue of Liberty because we're going to New York, and one that looked like a Vermont person because we're doing one at Drive, right? Had like a little thing of Ben and Jerry's and like a camping
Is granola,
vest.
And is that an okay word?
Yeah, very granola ghost.
Yeah,
exactly. And so it was like floating around and like interchanging.
Yeah.
And like that to me was like, man, I could have described that to our developer, and I think it would have, we have an incredible developer, but like it would have taken him a lot of time to get that figured out. And what I was able to hand him was a full HTML file.
Crazy.
And a Figma.
Wow.
Just in case.
Yep.
To be like, here's the landing page. And by the next morning, because he's in a different time zone than us, he like had it up and it was like fully functioning. And his feedback to me was like, that was so easy.
Really?
Yeah. To get it to do what we wanted it to do exactly. And he could see exactly what we wanted it to do.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Man, we don't have to segue, but we're living in a totally different era of like marketing.
Wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So landing page is amazing. We're getting people requesting their invites. We're outbounding people with like all of these like very segmented messages. They're coming from different people on the team because like it makes sense for Kelly to maybe do outreach to a senior demand gen marketer that we think would be a good fit for this. And it makes sense for me to send outreach to, let's say, a CMO or a VP of marketing, right? And so we're kind of looking at it from that level as well.
Okay.
And so we are sending all of this outreach out around, like getting invites for like kind of that list. We're waiting a period of time to see like, do they come back to us? If no, we move on to like kind of the next grouping that makes sense.
Were you mass emailing or were you saying one-to-one emails?
We're sending one-to-one emails from our Google, right? Like this is a totally unscalable thing, but sometimes you have to do those unscalable things like to get the right people in the room. For a small event like this, that felt like the right approach to it.
Totally.
Yeah.
So some people over a period of time would say like, yep, I'm in. Some people say no or no reply.
Yep.
And then eventually, depending on how many seats you filled, you would sort of
keep
do it
going,
again.
or we'd kind of come to a stop, right?
Got it. Okay.
And so between kind of that outreach and the people requesting invites, we were able to fill the room with a really great set of folks.
How long was the time period between when you started this and you kind of got the attendee list to where it needed to be?
It was a good month,
okay,
if not 5 weeks.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's funny, it fills up. It's a bell curve for sure. Like the closer you get, it's maybe like weighted to the right a little bit of a bell curve. The closer you get, the more confident people are in their plans that they're actually going to be at that event.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand kind of what the agenda is. And yeah, you're right. I'm not going to have something to do that evening. Would love to like join you guys for dinner, right?
That's
and
really
so
interesting.
A month out, you know, we got like a trickle of invite requests.
Yep.
And responses, and then a little bit closer, you get like a larger influx of people being like, "Yep, would love to join," or requesting an invite.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like tapering off, right? Because the event is next week.
Yeah.
And so we're there now.
Kind of how it's like it's interesting to know as a marketer, like you basically have to convince people like this is the coolest place you could be out of all the things, because that's what people are looking for, right? They're like, I'm going to be at Unbound. I've got these 4 invites, right? Like, why should I pick yours?
Which one's the coolest for sure? Which one's going to be the most fun?
Yeah. Well, obviously the one where the party gift is like you get a free ghost.
Yeah.
It follows you home.
Like the ride.
Like the ride. Yeah. Oh,
absolutely.
I love Disney.
Yeah. That you like get to, I don't know, who does that on a work trip,
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like how fun.
Yeah. There was one person, I forget who it was I was speaking to, but they were like, is it going to be scary? And I was like, maybe.
What's your definition of
scary?
scary?
Yeah, it was scary. Like, there's no, like, we're not going to jump out at you.
Oh, no. No, you're thinking of a haunted house.
Yeah.
No, this is like a this, this Victorian era woman died in this location many, many years ago.
But she might still be hanging out
Her
there.
ghost has been rumored to come out.
She's chilling.
Yeah, and we're going to get to see that.
All right, so that's what the event's going to be like. We know your budget. How are you going to measure whether this is successful or not?
Of course you would ask that. No, actually... events are like one of those things where you're like, it's relatively easy to track. Like, somebody was there and then they booked a demo. Like this, it's actually one of the kind of easier ones to really understand like where the return came from, which is great. So we are absolutely thinking about that. I'm going to grab my notes because I want to make sure that I get this right. And I'm not great with numbers.
Yeah, no, not
or
your
remembering
thing.
Numbers.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure I give the people the numbers that they want to hear. So, we have 20 people in the room.
Yep.
Some of them are Vector employees. We do have a couple of Vector employees and a couple of them are customers. So out of, let's say, 12 people in the room who are prospects, we would love to book 6 meetings out of each of these events.
Okay.
That feels like very realistic and doable.
Yeah.
Per tour stop, that would equate to like $220,000 in pipeline.
Yep.
So for the entire event series, we're looking at like $880,000 in pipeline.
Not bad for what'd you say, 40?
For 45,000.
Yeah.
So that feels like a really nice return, and I think we may even pleasantly surprise ourselves.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be such a fun experience. I think we've got great people, at least for this first one so far, and hopefully the rest will kind of follow.
Yep.
We have some really great people in the room who are right in our batting. What's that called?
Strike zone.
They're right in our strike zone. I was like the batting box.
Right in our Quidditch net. Just insert some sport that like no one cares about.
We can grab the golden snitch real easy.
Golden snitch. That's good. I like that one. Yeah.
So they're showing all the signals that they need.
Yep.
A product like ours, their team is of the right size and sophistication, right? Like we've looked at all of these things. And so feeling really confident that we're going to get a great return on this series.
Super exciting. What happens if you don't?
Maybe I become one of those ghosts.
I become one of those ghosts. Either way, if it works or it doesn't work, you're going to be in bad shape. Because if it doesn't work, I'm going to be upset. And if it does work, then we're just going to do a bigger event next year.
Right. Yeah. Damned if I do. Damned if I don't.
Correct.
It's always that with you.
This is the theme of marketing, right? How dare you do a good job? Do more of that.
Do more. Yeah.
Well, that sounds exciting. I think it's going to be a really fun event series. It's not as good as like a full event that we own, but whatever. My only question, do we have enough budget left if we wanted to do the Toyota Corolla?
I mean, I think we could probably scrounge up a whole $70 and make that happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the hardest part will be finding one that doesn't just reek of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. Good times. It was a great meeting.
This was a great meeting.
This meeting could have been a podcast.
And it was.
And it was.
This meeting could have been a podcast is a Vector production. Vector lets you build ad audiences from real people that visit your site, click your ads, and research your competitors. Imagine seeing exactly who will see your ads by name before you spend a dime. It's a great time to be alive, marketers. Go give it a whirl at vector.co. See you next time.